ऊंचाई लगभग 80 मीटर है। पर्वत के शिखर पर हनुमान जी का मंदिर स्थित है, जिसे जमीन से देखने से ऐसा लगता है कि मानो पर्वत ने मुकुट पहन रखा है। लगभग 550 सीढ़ियां चढ़ने के उपरांत ही इस मंदिर तक पहुंचा जा सकता है। पर्वत पर बनी सीढ़ियों को देख ऐसा लगता है जैसे पर्वत ने सफेद फूलों की माला पहन रखी है। दाएं बाएं बनी दीवारों पर लिखा भगवान राम का नाम भी उन्हें याद दिलाता है कि उन्हें भगवान का नाम लेते हुए आगे बढ़ना है। लोगों की सुविधा के लिए राम नाम हिंदी के अलावा अंग्रेजी और कन्नड़ में भी लिखा हुआ है। करीबन 100 सीढ़ियों के बाद हनुमान जी के भक्त बाबा लक्कड़दास जी की समाधि आती। यहाँ लोग अपना माथा टेकते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं। देखो हनुमान, उत्तर भारत से आए लोग अपने बच्चों को यहाँ घूमते लंगूरों और वानरों को दिखाते हुए यही कहते हैं। उत्तर भारत में वानरों और लंगूरों के लिए हनुमान शब्द का प्रयोग आम है। मंदिर में प्रवेश करने पर उन्हें लगभग 2 मीटर ऊंची और सिंदूर से ओत-प्रोत हनुमान जी की प्रतिमा के दर्शन होते हैं। मंदिर में 3 कक्ष हैं। एक कक्ष में हनुमान जी विराजमान हैं, दूसरे कक्ष में राम, लक्ष्मण और सीता जी की प्रतिमाएं हैं। इस कक्ष में 24 घंटे रामचरितमानस का पाठ, सुंदरकांड का पाठ या हरि नाम संकीर्तन चलता रहता है। इन दोनों कक्षों के सामने माता अंजना जी का भवन है। इस भवन में माता अंजना जी की गोद में बैठे बालक रूप में हनुमान बड़े प्यारे लगते हैं। हनुमान जी की माता अंजना जी का यह भारत में इकलौता मंदिर है। मंदिर के बाहर एक वृक्ष है, जिसकी डालियों पर लोग कपड़ा बांधकर हनुमान जी से अपनी मनोकामना पूरी करने की प्रार्थना करते हैं।
This is Pampa Sarovar, it's still there, and then the
ब्रह्मा जी ने सृष्टि के आरंभ में जिन 4 सरोवरों की स्थापना की थी, पंपा सरोवर उन्हीं में से एक है। वृक्ष की इस सलाह पर कि सीता का पता लगाने में सुग्रीव आपकी मदद करेंगे, भगवान राम सुग्रीव को खोजते हुए पंपा सरोवर तक आए थे। इस सरोवर में उन्होंने स्नान भी किया था, यह मानकर कि भगवान के पंपा सरोवर में स्नान करने से इसके जल की दिव्यता, पवित्रता और शक्ति में वृद्धि हो गई है और इसमें स्नान करने से हमें भी विशेष आध्यात्मिक लाभ प्राप्त होगा। श्रद्धालु इसमें स्नान करते हैं। जो लोग किन्हीं कारणों से स्नान करने की स्थिति में नहीं रहते, वो अंजलि में सरोवर का जल लेकर अपने माथे पर छिड़क लेते हैं। है तो यह सरोवर ही, लेकिन कमल की पत्तियों ने इसे इस कदर ढक रखा है कि किनारे के हिस्सों को छोड़कर इसमें कहीं भी पानी नजर नहीं आता।
This is the cave of the Shabari, you know. There is actually is amazing. You will see. Radha Gaunji ki jai. See this one inside. There is a cave, it goes underneath the river. Like we see when we enter New York from New Jersey, right? Under the Hudson River. Like that, Tungabhadra River, there is a underneath, long, long time. And this is the footprint of Ram, near that. And this is the Mother Sabri ashram, Kishkinda.
पंपा सरोवर के तीर पर लक्ष्मी जी का मंदिर है। पंपा सरोवर के दर्शन करने के बाद लोग लक्ष्मी जी के दर्शन करते हैं। मंदिर के महंत स्वामी रामदास जी रात को 1 बजे उठकर लक्ष्मी जी की 2 घंटे तक पूजा करते हैं। लक्ष्मी जी के मंदिर के पीछे सबरी जी का आश्रम है, जहां लक्ष्मी जी का मंदिर सजावट की एक आदर्श अवस्था को प्राप्त है। वहीं सबरी जी का आश्रम सादगी की एक अनूठी मिसाल है।
The place is very amazing even today, very clean, and this is the cave of Sugriva and Ram met inside this cave. It's still there. And then this is the Rishimukh Parvat.
अब बात करते हैं ऋषिमुख पर्वत की। शांत मुद्रा में स्थित ऋषिमुख पर्वत तक पहुंचने के लिए उसके सामने से गुजरती तुंगभद्रा नदी के शोर को पार करना पड़ता है। नदी पार करने के लिए सरकार ने कोई औपचारिक पुल नहीं बनाया है, लेकिन स्थानीय लोगों ने पत्थर के खंभों को लिटाकर एक अनौपचारिक पुल का निर्माण कर दिया है। इस पर्वत का नाम ऋषिमुख ही क्यों पड़ा, यह जानना कम रुचिकर नहीं है। कहा जाता है कि यहाँ रहने वाले अधिकतर ऋषि मूक रहकर यानी मौन धारण करके साधना करते थे, इसलिए इसका नाम ऋषिमुख पड़ गया। अपने नाम के अनुरूप आज भी यहाँ मौन छाया रहता है। किष्किंधा के अन्य पर्वतों के मुकाबले यह पर्वत थोड़ा हरा भरा है। नीम, पीपल, कीकड़ आदि कई वृक्ष यहाँ देखने को मिलते हैं। पर्वत में एक गुफा है जिसे मंदिर का रूप दे दिया गया है। इस मंदिर में सुग्रीव और हनुमान जी दोनों विराजमान हैं। मंदिर के साधु बताते हैं कि भारत में कहीं भी हनुमान जी और सुग्रीव जी का मंदिर एक साथ नहीं है, केवल यहीं पर है। मंदिर में बिजली की सुविधा नहीं है, इसलिए भक्तों को गैस लैंप की रोशनी में प्रतिमाओं के दर्शन करने पड़ते हैं। तुंगभद्रा नदी पर्वत को 3 तरफ से घेरे हुए है।
Wherever you see the stones and everywhere, this is the Vali Parvat.
इस मंदिर के निर्माण में सच्चिदानंद चिंतामणि का विशेष योगदान रहा है। इसी कारण यह चिंतामणि मंदिर के नाम से जाना जाता है। सूर्य की तेज रोशनी में सफेद रंग के इस मंदिर की चमक बढ़ जाती है और साथ ही बढ़ जाती है मंदिर में उपयोग किए गए पत्थरों की तपन भी, जो श्रद्धालुओं के तलवों की अच्छी खासी परीक्षा ले लेती है। मंदिर में एक शिवलिंग स्थापित है। इसके अलावा यहाँ भगवान के परम भक्त नरसिंह मेहता की प्रतिमा भी स्थापित है। शिवलिंग और नरसिंह मेहता के दर्शन के पश्चात लोग मंदिर के उस स्थान पर जाते हैं जिसके बारे में यह मान्यता है कि यहीं से राम ने बाली पर तीर चलाया था। उस समय भगवान राम के साथ लक्ष्मण और हनुमान जी भी मौजूद थे। यहाँ हनुमान जी के चरण चिन्हों के प्रतीक के दर्शन होते हैं। इसके ठीक पास तीर और धनुष का चित्र भी बना दिया गया है ताकि लोगों को रामायण से संबंधित यह स्थान पहचानने में कठिनाई ना आए। इस स्थान के बिल्कुल नजदीक एक गुफा है जिसके बारे में ऐसा कहा जाता है कि बाली और सुग्रीव के बीच में होने वाले युद्ध से पहले राम, लक्ष्मण और हनुमान जी यहीं बैठे थे। वर्तमान में इतिहास का वह दृश्य प्रकट करने के लिए पत्थर पर राम और लक्ष्मण का चित्र बनाकर गुफा में स्थापित कर दिया गया है।
You can see the big stones on top of it. It's Vali Parvat.
श्रद्धालुओं के बीच बाली पर्वत भी कम लोकप्रिय नहीं है। जिस पर्वत पर बाली निवास करता था उसे आज बाली पर्वत या बाली गुफा के नाम से जाना जाता है। यह पर्वत काफी विस्तृत है। यहाँ स्थित भीमकाय चट्टानों को देख यही विचार मन में उठता है कि इनके बीच रहने वाला बाली भी इन्हीं की तरह भीमकाय होगा। इस पर्वत पर एक ऐसा वल्मीक देखने को मिलता है जिसके बारे में लोग कहते हैं कि उसमें कोई दिव्य आत्मा रहती है। वह आत्मा भगवान के नाम का निरंतर उच्चारण करती रहती है। कई बार उस आत्मा की दिव्य आवाज पर्वत पर घूम रहे लोगों ने सुनी है। बाली पर्वत पर एक किले का अवशेष मिलता है। किले के अवशेष के पास राजाओं की समाधियां मिलती हैं। किले का अवशेष और समाधियां इस बात को प्रमाणित करती हैं कि इस पर्वत का उपयोग मध्य युगीन राजाओं ने अपने निवास स्थान के रूप में किया था। बाली पर्वत के नजदीक दुर्गा मंदिर है। कहा जाता है कि बाली रोज सूर्योदय से पहले इस मंदिर में आकर दुर्गा जी की पूजा किया करता था। बाली का पर्वत तो बेजान हो चुका है, लेकिन दुर्गा जी का मंदिर सुंदर अवस्था में है। मंदिर एक लंबे चौड़े चबूतरे पर स्थित है। इस चबूतरे और माता के मंदिर को एक विशाल पीपल के वृक्ष ने ढक रखा है। इस वृक्ष पर श्रद्धालुओं ने मनौतियों की निशानियां बांध रखी हैं। मंदिर से दिव्य ऊर्जा निकलती है जो यहाँ आने वाले भक्तों को महसूस होती है।
This is a Madhuban where when Hanuman returned, they had madhu and then fruits and all that,
मधुवन में वन कहीं नजर नहीं आता। समय के प्रभाव से वो वन नष्ट हो गया है, जिसके फल हनुमान जी और अन्य वानरों ने सीता जी का पता लगाकर लौटते हुए खाए थे। मधुबन में बने हनुमान मंदिर के महंत राम पूजन दास जी रामायण के इस प्रसंग को बड़े चाव से सुनाते हैं।
ये मधुबन भीतर सब आए, अंगद सब सब मधुफल खाए, रखवारी जब वर्जन लगा, मुश्किल फरार हुआ, सब आगे जाके बोलते कि बाग उजर जमराज सुग्रीव जी लागे। तो सुग्रीव सठा के हंसते, हाथ उठा के बोलते करे प्रभु काज, जो न हो तो सीता सुधि पाई, तो मधुबन के फल सकन के खाई।
ये बहुत बड़ा हनुमान जी है इधर। और इधर एक रंगनाथ भी मंदिर भी है, आनेगुंदी अंगद, बहुत पुराना है। और
रंगनाथ स्वामी मंदिर बहुत प्राचीन है। 16वीं शताब्दी के विजयनगर साम्राज्य के राजा श्री कृष्ण देव राय और उनके सभी वंशज यहाँ नित्य पूजा पाठ करने के लिए आते थे। मंदिर में शेषशैया पे लेटे भगवान विष्णु बड़े मनोहर लगते हैं। करीबन 100 फीट ऊंचाई पर स्थित श्री गवी रंगनाथ मंदिर में विष्णु भगवान की स्वयंभू मूर्ति है। मंदिर में एक झरना है जिसका पानी नारियल के पानी जैसा मीठा है। इतनी ऊंचाई पर झरने में इतना मीठा पानी कहां से आता है किसी को मालूम नहीं है। किष्किंधा के निकट विजयनगर साम्राज्य के अवशेष आज भी मौजूद हैं, जो हम्पी के नाम से जाने जाते हैं। किष्किंधा आने वाले लोगों में अधिकतर लोग इन्हें भी देखने जाते हैं।
You can see these, stones one top over the other, and then this is the where Lord Ramchandra did the Chaturmasya, Malyavant, Raghuram Mandir.
दक्षिण भारत के मंदिर अपनी नक्काशियों के लिए जाने जाते हैं। माल्यवंत रघुनाथ मंदिर इस बात का अपवाद नहीं है। माल्यवंत रघुनाथ मंदिर उस माल्यवंत पर्वत पर बना है जहां भगवान राम और लक्ष्मण ने बरसात के 4 महीने बिताए थे। मंदिर के मुख्य भवन में राम, लक्ष्मण और सीता जी की मूर्तियां विराजमान हैं। तीनों ही मूर्तियों का रंग काला है। भगवान राम सांवले थे, सो उनकी मूर्ति काली हो यह बात स्वीकार कर ली जाती है। लेकिन सीता जी की काली मूर्ति कई भावुक भक्तों के मन में यह प्रश्न पैदा कर देती है कि इनके लिए काला पत्थर इस्तेमाल करने की क्या आवश्यकता थी। मंदिर के प्रांगण में वह जल स्रोत भी आता है जिसका निर्माण लक्ष्मण जी ने किया था। कहा जाता है कि भैया राम की प्यास तुरंत बुझाने के लिए लक्ष्मण ने धरती की ओर तीर चलाया था। कुछ ही क्षणों में धरती में से पानी निकलने लगा था, जिससे भगवान राम की प्यास बुझी थी। लक्ष्मण द्वारा निर्मित जल स्रोत आज भी मौजूद है।
You can see this, entire temple is made in one stone. This is where the Lord Ram spent the Chaturmasya. This is where Lakshman, even though millions of years, water is still there. It's up in the hills. And then this is the Murti. This is Panchamukhi Hanuman. How much time is there? Half an hour? 20 minutes. So, the story of Panchamukhi. Briefly, see, Ravana, Indrajit, they're all finished. Only Ravana is surviving in the war, right? At that time, still, see the Lobha, the Moha, is still not willing to surrender. And he's thinking how, what I have to do. So, at that time, he had a son called Airavana, Mairavana, who were, when they were born so ugly, he threw them into the Samudra, sea, right? And they were taken to the Patal and they were made the kings. So, and they were very expert. They were more powerful than the Indrajit. You can imagine. Meghanath, Indrajit, they were more powerful. They were into worshipping Kali. So he went and told them that, and they were very happy to see their father. And they knew one day he will going to come, seeking their help. So he came there and told them, you have to kill. He gives Bali, that Ram, Lakshman, give Bali to Kali, he will have more power. No, I should not do that. They are, they are Lord, incarnation Lord. No. So anyway, his father's request, they said, okay, to please you, we will do that. So then he came back, and Vibhishana knew that Ravana has gone to Patal. So he told Hanuman, be careful, because Airavana, they are really, really extremely, Shaktas, using the, the power. So Hanuman, with his tail, he covered the entire army of monkeys. And then Sitaram, Lakshman, Ram was inside. So in the middle of the night, someone comes dressed like Vibhishan. Oh, Hanuman, please give me way, I have to enter. Hanuman asked him, where were you so far? Why you are in this middle of the night? No, I want to take a bath in the sea. So that was Airavan, disguised as Vibhishan. So he got inside. And then Mairavan also, invisible form, he entered. Immediately they put a spell, right, on everybody. And they all went to sleep. And then they took Ram Lakshman. They were very amazing. The technology, the anesthesia, right? Doctor gives anesthesia, so we will not know anything. Similarly, the mantra, anesthesia by mantra, like that. So it took them down, and then later on, when they woke up, right? Monkeys woke up. It did not last long, and they didn't see Ram Lakshman. They started crying, "Oh, Ram Lakshman, not there." Then Hanuman. Then Vibhishana told, what happened? Oh, last night you came and he asked me to go, let you in. Oh, no, it was not me, it must be Airavana. So go quickly. So he went in the Patal, right? Hanuman went there. And it's a long story, make it short, So he met one small monkey there, right? There he was guarding. And he said, who are you? He said, I am son of Hanuman. Hey, wait a minute, I am Hanuman. How I don't have children. I'm bachelor. How, no, here a Rakshas disguise trying to, no. Listen to Nardamani. Nardamani told me my history. When you were going back from Lanka after finding Sita, the sweat from his body fell, and then this crocodile swallowed and became pregnant, and that's how I was born as a and then they named me Makaradwaja, and then I'm devoted to as you are devoted to Ram, I'm also devoted to Airavana, Mairavana. So you have to fight, but don't kill me. So they fought and they tied him up, and then Airavana, Makaradwaja revealed a secret. It is not easy to kill Airavana, Mairavana. They have kept their prana in 5 directions in the form of lamp, right? And then one who blows by same breath, same time, all the 5, then only can be killed. Oh, okay. So then he went inside, and then people started coming, and then they were giving to the Kali, fruits, sweets, and all that. Hanuman was behind, hiding the deity, and as he was eating, That day, everybody was surprised. Wow, DT is eating more. They're bringing more. So then the Airavana wanted to sacrifice, right? Ram, Lakshman. At that time, the deity spoke, "Don't worry, I will take care of them. You just leave." So they went away, and then they closed the door. Hanuman came out immediately, released, and they went out, and they started fighting, right? So how much of fighting, Airavana are not, they are not vanquished. So then Hanuman remembered the secret by his son Makaradhwaja. So he immediately went and he found 5 directions, right? And that time he took the form, this Hanuman, the 5 faces, right? Hanuman, Garuda, Varaha, Narsingha, Hayagriva. Hayagriva, Narsingha, Varaha, Garuda, Hanuman. These 5 faces. And then same breath we blow, 5 directions. So it's finished all the 5 lights. Then he went and fought and killed the Airavana. And then Ram, we wanted to go, right? At that time he saw Ram asking, "Who is that monkey?" "Oh, Lord, don't worry." "No, who is this?" He says, "My son." "Oh, you have a son, very good." So he made him the king. Lord Ram made him the king of Patal, and then he told him to, righteously rule the Patal. That's how the story of, and near this is amazing. There's big stones. You can see the huge stones, and then like this. Actually, this is, if you see, there's a picture, actually, I don't know, you can see very close up, there's a picture of animal, mangas there, here, like this. Yeah, you can see here, I don't know, you can see it or not. See the ear? The face of a monkey here, eyes, and even here. Yeah? Yeah. So, you can see here also. So this one, after taking picture, I came to know, not before that. This is, you can see.
This is Panchamukh Hanuman temple, and this is part of Kishkinda, where all those Hanuman and other monkeys used to play around and then make all these stones like this, which no one can really do it.
Huge stones. How they did, and then you can see many stones are there. And then, see, you can say, for example, I've shown you how it is possible for Hanuman to lift, right? But within ourselves, there are so many, actually Hanuman is carrying the protein, small tuck, is there. It's not something can be explained,
And I want you to look at this and see the paths that the cell manufactures. These little walking machines, they're called kinesins, that take these huge loads that would challenge an ant in relative size. Run the movie, please. But these machines that power the inside of the cells are really quite amazing, and they really are the basis of all life. But because all of these machines interact with each other, they pass information to each other, they cause different things to happen inside the cell, and the cell will actually manufacture the parts that it needs on the fly from information that's brought from the nucleus by molecules that read the genes. And no life, from the smallest life to everybody here, would be possible without these little micro machines. In fact, it would really, in the absence of these machines, have made the attendance here, Chris, really quite sparse. The FedEx delivery guy of the cell. This little guy is called a kinesin, and and he pulls a sack that's full of brand new manufactured proteins to wherever it's needed in the cell, whether it's to a membrane, whether it's to an organelle, whether it's to build something or repair something. And each of us has about 100,000 of these things running around right now inside each one of your 100 trillion cells. So no matter how lazy you feel, you're not really intrinsically doing nothing. So what I want you to do when you go home is think about this and think about how powerful our cells are, and think about some of the things that we're learning about cellular mechanics. And once we figure out all that's going on, and believe me, we know almost 1% of what's going on. Once we figure out what's going on, we're really going to be able to have a lot of control over what we do with our health, with what we do with future generations, how long we're going to live, and hopefully we'll be able to use this to discover more truth and more beauty. But it's really quite amazing that these cells, these micro machines, are aware enough of what the cell needs that they do their bidding, they work together, they make the cell do what it needs to do, and their working together helps our bodies, huge entities that they will never see, function properly.
See, like that, we have a lot of Hanuman inside, you know. So if you, so it's not something impossible. This is another story. And this is Avataratraya Anjaneya. You know, you can see this deity. This is the holiest of the holy for Madhva Sampradaya. You can see behind this is Narsingha, self-manifest Narsingha. This is Hanuman face. This is the hand holding the scripture, Madhvacharya, and this is the Bhima. This is Navavrindavan. See, this is place where the 9 acharyas have taken samadhi. In our sampradaya, the Padmanabha Tirtha, the first, right? We say Padmanabha Tirtha, and then Vyasa Tirtha. If you remember in our in the Guru Parampara that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati gave. So these 2 samadhis are right here. So if you, like about half of our Sampradaya, Samadhi is in Karnataka. They took the Jiva Samadhi here. You know, these are all, each one is an individual Samadhi. And you can see the Tulsi profusely growing. And this is the area where Hanuman met Ram first time. It's an amazing, very powerful place. Nobody stays in the night time. Then there is the original manifestation, Swayambhu of Narsinghadev, and then also there is Hanuman who is Jagrat Hanuman. You know, he is really there. Jagrat Hanuman, and then Ranganath Swami. Here our immediate disciple of Madhvacharya, Padmanabha Tirtha, and then Vyasa Tirtha, if we remember. Ishwarapuri, Madhavendrapuri, Lakshmi Tirtha, Vyasa Tirtha. So Vyasa Tirtha Samadhi is also there. He is the avatar of Prahalad. And the giants have to remove their upper garment to go around. It's very hard, so they have put all around a little shade, you know. Tungabhadra river flows nearby. Upper cloth is not allowed there, you know, for the gents. This is Hanumandara at Chitrakoot, you know. Then the Rameshwaram, where Hanuman built the Setu. You can see this Setu. 94-312 is a STS satellite, you know, NASA satellite. Then you can see this like an highway, even today, going through. And then Hanuman is believed that he every day he circumambulates this also, every day, even today. And this is the hill where he jumped back from Lanka. His footprint is also here. This is in Lanka, Sri Lanka. And then this is Abhishek of 85 feet Trinidad. You know, they made a huge deity of Hanuman, 85 feet. And they are making a milk Abhishek by helicopter. And the Mahant, Mahant is sitting here, you can see the height. And this is a huge Andhra Pradesh. This is about 135 feet Hanuman. And see, this raises a question. There is another one, 180, something like that they are building. See the proportion, right? Now, we make calculations and all that, but when the baby is growing, how proportion is like growing, we are also proportion, you know, so many things. Now, how that is done to make it so, you know, you can think about it, you know, how powerful. And then the various pastimes of Hanuman and Tulsiram. Tulsidas one time, how much time? 10 minutes, okay. So, anyway, Tulsidas is none other than Valmiki, you know. See, one time, after Lord Ram left, he entered his Vaikunta Swadama, Pagate, Dharma Jnana Adivisa. So, he left his Naam and then Hanuman, right? So, that time he was so broken hearted. You can see then he was all around in the scribbling, right? He was pouring out his heart, you know, everywhere. And his hand is like a Vajra, right? So he was writing down, you know. And then, so that became a Srimad Hanumad Ramayana. So the Valmiki heard that, oh, Hanuman has written. So then he was very curious. So he went and saw, and he was crying. Each verse he was reading, you know. Then he said, oh, my Ramayana is nothing in front of you, Hanuman. Oh, so amazing. Oh, that's so, this is what bothering. So he thought, Hanuman took him on his, left shoulder, sat him. On the right shoulder, he took all these stones that he scribbled, right? On this side, they went to river, Samudra, sea, and then Rama Arpanamastu, he put all his Ramayana. Then Valmiki was crying, oh, you should have put me in instead of that, you know. So then he said, I did not glorify you enough, so I'm going to come back again, I will compose Ramayana, and then I will glorify you. So that was the Tulsidas ji coming back. So this is again those three pictures, you know, Madhvacharya, Bhima and Hanuman. There are so many stories about him. And then this is the Krishna deity he established in Udupi, Gopal. You can see he's having this Dadi, amazing. And nearby is the, where they have the Akshaya Patra, that Draupadi had, you know, in this temple right next to him, they do puja. So there is no shortage of prasadam there today. And this is Narari Tirtha. See, I showed you the Padmanabha Tirtha Samadhi, right? Madhvacharya Padmanabha Tirtha, then Narari Tirtha is the one. So his Samadhi is also there. He is actually, there's an amazing story on him. There's see these stones and all that, he is in near Kishkinda. And then Sasita, the shloka, the glorifying, Sasita Mula Ramarcha Koshe Gajapate Stita Ena Nita Namastasmai Sri Man Narari Vikshave. Narari Vikshave. The story is, see, Lord Ikshvaku, they had a deity of Sitaram, Mula Sitaram, right? And then it came up to Dashrath. Dashrath had worshipping Sitaram even before Sitaram, Ram, born to him, right? And then it came to then Sitaram, and then to Lakshman to Hanuman, Hanuman to Bhima, and then Bhima to this Gajapati in Orissa, the king. So at that time when Madhvacharya went, he defeated this Narahari previously. He was a very powerful Pandita. Then he told him he wanted to follow after taking sannyas. No. You stay back. You will come back, at the right time. So the king he left his body. His son was still young. Maybe 3-4 years later, 3-4 years. So they needed a king. So what they did was they gave a garland to the elephant, and then they choose the king, right? So they were all standing, a lot of people around, and Narahari sannyasi was also standing there, see the thing. So the elephant went and garlanded him. So then he has to become king, right? But he was even though as a king, he was spreading, he was preaching Vaishnava Siddhanta. He was very powerful. And then after 12 years, when the Yuvraj, became right age, was properly, then he transferred the kingdom to him. And then meantime, when he wanted to leave, they asked him, "You have done a great service, what we can give you?" Then he remembered, they had a Moola Rama there, Mula Sitaram. He asked them. So they gave him. So he took that, brought it to Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya was very happy because as Hanuman, he has worshipped them. Again as Bhima, he has worshipped them. Again as Madhvacharya, he is worshipping them, doing it. He was so happy. So that's how, so this is Narahari Tirtha, Samadhi. Then this is the Jaya Tirtha. Then see, Akshobha Tirtha is also there. So Akshobha Tirtha also I have. So this is Jaya Tirtha. Jaya Tirtha was amazing. See, after Madhvacharya, the one Tikacharya is known as Tikacharya. He understood the the inner meaning of Madhvacharya's writings, and then many, and then his guru, Jayatirtha's guru, Akshobha Tirtha, was also not extraordinarily. He defeated very powerful Kevala Advaitavadi at that time, And then one day he wrote in the night on a stone with charcoal, the Narsingha, Yoga Narsingha. And he was meditating on it, and then when he morning wake up, that turned into a deity, that is still worshipped in Mulabagalu, near in Karnataka, on the way to Tirupati, and that's where Vyasa Tirtha, our parampara, he spent his Gurukula there. So this is Jayatirtha's Samadhi, and then this is the Samadhi of Brahmanya Tirtha. See, is our Vyasa Tirtha's guru. Brahmanya Tirtha is amazing, he is the incarnation of sun, and then when after he takes Samadhi, he was his bhakti was like Prahalad, his renunciation is like Chatur Kumaras, and very powerful. One time a king was for some reason was cut off his hands, and he was crying. He went and took Kanwa Nadi mud and then put it here, prayed to him, and then the hands grew back, hands and legs grew back. That was the power. This Brahmanya Tirtha is, and then he gave the Vyasa Tirtha. And then this is the to show you the Jagannath. This time Nalakavalevara is going on. I think many of you are going after 19 years. You can see the Shankha, Chakra and Gada on the same tree, on the thing. And then you can see this is the Shankha, huge, it's not small. And then this one is also, and there is a Shankha there. And you can see a lot of people are watching. And you can hand till, and many requirements are there. This tree is not ordinary, it is extraordinary. The branches and the the color and the signs has to be there. Like that, this is Jagannath's. So it shows that there are, even though technologically we think we are advanced, but actually technology has brought us more problems than it has solved. So don't be swayed away by technology. Technology is actually is an hindrance, is unhealthy. Really is unhealthy. So we should not lose our the foundation. So these things you can see how the pastimes of the Lord is still preserved. It still exists. We should not forget it. And we should not be carried away. That's why the chanting, this Maha Mantra is actually most beneficial. Tomorrow, you want to talk? 60? Yeah? Yeah? Tomorrow, because it's a holiday, right? Tomorrow is a holiday. We will have more about how to chant more, how to get inspired and inspire others. How to take this Divya medicine, to actually get rid of so many problems, if you take this medicine. So I think is time. If you have any questions, maybe later. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha.
Thank you very much.